Okay, former Giants quarterback Kerry Collins sees big things for his new partnership in New York this season, for the new partnership, right? He told the New York Post he thinks the combo of Jason Garrett and Daniel Jones is going to be, quote, absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at what he said. This is the guy I said was my sleeper for this season, so I'm intrigued. For a young guy like Jones, who's obviously shown a lot of ability, Jason is going to help him immensely with everything. He's not going to be an X's and O's guy. He's going to talk about that position and what it means to be successful. I'm really excited to see that combination. I'm sure Jason is going to be heavily involved with Daniel's development. I just could not think of a better guy to have with Jones right now. Nate, if they make a leap this season, is it the leap? Is Daniel Jones the reason the Giants could be NFC East contenders?
As much as I want to give the young quarterback credit for what he could be doing this season, I think it's going to be the complementary pieces. You know, we'll get to Saquon as long as we're talking about the Giants. His name will always come up. But for me, it's the wide receiver play. You got to think about it. Last year, there was so much going on. Eli was there. We were trying to question if it was still going to be Eli's team or if we're going to see Daniel Jones at some point. And then this young fella comes in and he plays without Golden Tate, who was sitting out because of suspension. You had Sterling Shepard, who was in and out because of injury. You had Slayton, who came along big last season. Now, bring up those guys because Tate, Slayton, Sterling Shepard, those individuals will help Daniel Jones have a big leap. It's not just going to be DJ out there doing this thing. A DJ needs people to dance when he's playing the music, and his dancers are going to be those wide receivers.
Kyle talked about it yesterday. He said if you didn't watch the last two games that the Giants played, you missed some good football from Daniel Jones. And they really were sort of competitive in that Week 17 game. Week 16 was a little back and forth with is what we all called it, basically. The Redskins won it by losing it. But the point being that even with some really good football from Daniel Jones in spurts, that Giants team wasn't competitive. I know former coach Pat Shurmur said they were competing, but they really were just on the field kind of playing. They weren't competing the way you need to compete in the NFL. Well, let's now look at Joe Judge. Let's go back to the press conference because I hate to do the whole won the press conference thing, but this is a guy that needed to win the press conference, and he absolutely did it. And this is a team that, much like back in 2004, coming off the Jim Fossil era, needs a shot in the arm here. And Joe Judge looks like he's going to be that shot in the arm. So if you're saying to me they're contenders, that means they're competing, unlike we have seen from this team maybe since the back end of the Coughlin era. Yeah, maybe a little bit with Ben McAdoo. But Joe Judge sounded like that guy. He certainly sounded like that guy in the interview with the Giants, and they believe that they've got that guy. And I go back to that Fossil into Tom Coughlin era when this team absolutely got the discipline that it needed. You could say, yeah, but Coughlin went 6-10 in his first year. Yeah, but don't forget they were 5-4 with Kurt Warner till they turned it over to Eli Manning. So objection overruled.
I look at Judge. I like the receivers. We're all very encouraged by what Daniel Jones looked like at the end of last year. But listen, we got to talk about the rock star. And I would look at Daniel Jones and I would quote the words of Nicole Richie's dad, and I would say, say you, Saquon, say it together, naturally. That's my man right there. He's going to do it all night long. Welcome, my friends, to the year of Saquon Barkley, when he will emerge 9 months from now as the best running back on the planet. I have stock in him, and guys, I don't know if you noticed, the Dow Jones is up for the year. It's a miracle, and if you do not own Saquon stock, it might be too late. I think there's a cautionary tale in the sense of Christian McCaffrey last year, who had one of the most historic running back seasons ever, and yet the Panthers were a forgettable team that did not make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to be this Giants team because I think Daniel Jones is better, and I think all of us who are oohing and ahhing over McCaffrey and Derrick Henry, deservedly so, this fall are going to be saying, oh my God, Saquon Barkley is that good. He is the guy who gets the Giants to the playoffs with Daniel Jones. It's going to be easy like a Sunday afternoon.